Good morning, children. Welcome back to your chemistry class. We were dealing with nitric acid chapter. In this chapter, we have come to the last part. That is, today we are going to study about the uses of nitric acid. It is used in the manufacture of explosives like TNT, that is trinitrotoluene, right? Picric acid, dynamite, etc. It is used in the manufacture of fertilizers such as calcium nitrate, ammonium nitrate. It is used in the manufacture of dyes, drugs and perfumes. It is also used as a reagent in the laboratory. It is used as an oxidant in the rocket propellants. Then it is also used in the manufacture of sulfuric acid by the lead chamber process. It is used in the formation of aqua regia, which dissolves noble metals like gold and platinum. It is also used in the purification of gold and platinum. It is used for etching designs on copper and brassware, and it is used in the manufacture of artificial silk, nylon, rayon, photographic films. It is used to prepare important compounds like sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, or even silver nitrate. Now we come to the tests of nitric acid and nitrate, test of HNO3 and nitrates. Okay, so firstly let me talk about the concentrated nitric acid. The concentrated nitric acid, as I have already told you in the previous video, which on decomposition or on heating, what is it going to give us? It is going to give us water and reddish brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide, and colorless oxygen gas is also given out. So this reddish brown fumes is actually the test for concentrated nitric acid. More tests are there, that is action of heat on different nitrates. So let us understand the different reactions of this action of heat on the different nitrates. So let's begin with potassium. If you are going to remember your activity series, this will be very easy for you. So let's first talk about potassium nitrate. Okay, potassium nitrate on decomposition gives potassium nitrite plus oxygen gas. It does not give nitrogen dioxide, that is the reddish brown fumes. Therefore, it cannot be used for the test of nitrates. I hope this is very clear. Similarly, NaNO3, which on heating gives us NaNO2 plus O2, colorless gas is given out. Therefore, these two are not used for the test of nitrates as they do not release reddish brown fumes. So a question could be asked, name a nitrate which does not give out nitrogen dioxide gas, that is these two nitrates. Now we talk about the next one is calcium nitrate. Okay, now look over here. From one C, I am going to go to the next C. What is the next C in the activity series? Copper nitrate. Okay, over here you will find mostly all the reactions, they will be same. Like for example, calcium nitrate on decomposition will give you calcium oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen gas will be given out. These are all the gases that are given out. Similarly, if we take zinc nitrate, okay, this on heating, it is going to give you zinc oxide, which is yellow when hot and white when cold, and nitrogen reddish brown nitrogen dioxide gas, and your brown colorless oxygen gas is given out. Similarly, if you remember PbNO3 whole twice, this is a white powder which on heating it is going to give you yellow color PbO, lead monoxide, and nitrogen dioxide, which is reddish brown, and colorless gas is given out. Now have you remember? Now do you understand? Now let me come to copper nitrate. It is going to give you CuO plus NO2 plus O2. Okay. So what did I say? From one C to another C, all the metal nitrates which come between calcium to copper, they all release their respective oxides, nitrogen dioxide gas and oxygen gas. Now look over here, this is blue color giving you black color copper oxide, reddish brown color nitrogen dioxide and colorless gas. Now let us talk about those metals which come below copper in the activity series. That is your mercury, silver, gold. So let's talk about mercury nitrate, that is HgNO3 whole twice, or silver nitrate. Okay, so they on decomposition, now they are not going to give out their oxides, they will release their respective metals on heating, and your reddish brown fumes and oxygen gas, colorless gas will be given out. Similarly with silver nitrate, silver will be given out plus NO2 reddish brown fumes plus oxygen gas will be released. So if you see all this, these are the different nitrates from calcium to silver I have written over here. So first two, they are not used for the test of the nitrates. Why? Because they do not give out the NO2 gas which is reddish brown in color. Now talking for those compounds from calcium to copper, all these nitrates, they give out their respective oxides along with reddish brown fumes and the colorless oxygen gas. Talking about the metals which are placed below copper in the activity series, their nitrates on heating simply they decompose to give the metals nitrogen dioxide gas, that is reddish brown, and your colorless oxygen gas is given out. I hope with this all is clear to you. You already know action on litmus. It always turns moist blue litmus paper red. Now I am coming to the confirmatory test of your nitrate, that is they are called as brown ring test. This is very, very important. We come to brown ring test. Now what is brown ring test? In the lab, to the aqueous solution of nitric acid we add freshly prepared ferrous sulfate solution. Okay, so what did I say? We add FeSO4 to, this is freshly prepared, to what? To the nitric acid solution. Clear? Now you must be wondering why it should be freshly prepared. Because on exposure, if we prepare it from beforehand, then it will get exposed to the atmosphere and it gets oxidized to ferric sulfate, which does not give the brown ring test. So this has to be freshly prepared, means when we go ahead for the experimenting the brown ring test, this is prepared freshly over there. Right? Now to this we add concentrated sulfuric acid. To this this was added first. To this we add now concentrated sulfuric acid. Clear? Now what will happen? As this concentrated sulfuric acid, it is poured into the test tube along the sides. Then what will happen? It will, because being heavier, it settles down, right? And the ferrous sulfate layer, it remains above it, and there in between the two, that is between this sulfuric acid and ferrous sulfate and nitric acid, there will be a brown ring kind of a thing that is going to form over there. This brown ring is called as nitrosoferrous sulfate. What is it called as? It is called as nitrosoferrous sulfate. So let me complete this reaction. What did I say? To the solution of nitric acid we add FeSO4, which should be freshly prepared. Clear? After that, why should it be freshly prepared? Because if it is prepared from beforehand, it gets exposed to the atmosphere and gets oxidized to ferric sulfate, and it is not going to lead to the conformation of brown ring, right? So this is always freshly prepared, to which we add concentrated sulfuric acid side by side. So what will happen? Sulfuric acid heavier will settle down, ferrous sulfate lighter will rise up, and in between the two liquids there is a junction where brown ring will be formed, and this brown ring is called as nitrosoferrous sulfate. So look at the reaction. This is going to form Fe2SO4 whole thrice plus H2O plus NO, right? This NO is going to combine with FeSO4 and form your brown ring. FeSO4 plus NO is going to form your FeSO4 dot NO. This is called as your brown ring. Okay. The name of this brown ring is what? Nitrosoferrous sulfate. Okay. This is the name of this brown compound. Clear? Now, this brown ring of nitrosoferrous sulfate, it is very unstable, and if you are going to disturb your test tube, or if you are going to warm the test tube, it immediately disappears. So this is the confirmatory test for our nitric acid or nitrates. With this, we finish off with the chapter. Thank you, girls.